Welcome to the very first episode of Springdale Today, an in-depth look at what's going on in the Springdale Public School system. This program is going to give you some nice insights into the students, teachers, and other staff members around the Springdale District. On our first episode, we're going to talk to you about the changes that have come in the communications department and have an in-depth interview with Dr. Jim Rollins, plus preview and show you the newest school in the Springdale School District. I'm Rick Schaeffer, Communications Director. Welcome to Springdale Today. It starts now. Nizea Presses and Noemi Delatorre caught the changes made by the Communications Office over the summer. Watch this. Public relations is important because it's the means of getting your message in a positive way to the community that you serve. And in a school district in particular, you want your patrons to know the good things that are going on in the Springdale School District between the school district and the public. And so we want our public to understand that great work's going on in the Springdale School District. Public relations serves the purpose not only of telling your good stories, but also when something happens that maybe is not so good for your district, you kind of serve as what they would call damage control. And that's sharing with the public, here's why it happened. Maybe if we were in error, you have to explain that, say how it's going to get corrected. So really you're kind of the in-between your organization, in this instance Springdale Schools, and the public.
I get to go to a school and interview a class of kids, like with the Sonora East program. That was one of my first stories. I go in and watch them work and watch whoever do what it is they're doing, and then get to ask them questions and write up on it. And then post it on the website. I run the Facebook and the Twitter, and we try to link all of those together. So if we have an audience, say on Facebook, that we don't have on the website, everyone can see it. And also, we do a lot of answering phones and answering questions for people. We're the ones that are kind of supposed to know what's going on and when.
ESL Communications. Well, it's two guys, Papa Rap and I, who help newcomers integrate into the school system. It's very important that parents feel connected to the schools, because if the parents feel connected to the schools, then they're going to be coming to the schools and finding out how their students are doing.
So it's basically communicating with parents and students whatever needs to be communicated, but in their own language.
Working with Al and DJ has been a lot of fun for those of us in the communications department. They're great people. They do great communications, not only to the Hispanic community, but all of Springdale. Now, another benefit to our move has been the new TV department. It's the first of its kind anywhere in Arkansas.
SPS TV is a class of advanced students in the video production world for senior students.
For me, SPS TV is to focus on the Springdale community, kind of like what their events are.
SPS TV is a compilation of Springdale and Har-ber high school TVs for seniors who are looking to do more than be in a classroom setting.
SPS TV is just a combination between Springdale and Har-ber, and what it really does is now we're able to go district-wide. We're not just limited to just Har-ber or Springdale. Now I can now I can go to J.O. Kelly and I can shoot video there, or I can go all the way to Sonora or Monitor.
Hi, I'm Michaela Allen. We at the Springdale Media Department.
I've been able to job shadow at KNWA News. I have been able to go to some elementary schools and work on those, work there, been able to work with the athletic director in Springdale and make a video for him, and a video for Rich Schaeffer.
I am now able to create what I like to do, which is make the action sport videos. And with that, being what I like to do, I'm able to make those videos and then publish them on Channel 219.
I get to meet new people, work with new people. Mr. Jones has helped me a lot as a producer. I've had many experiences with that, as I said, and I've also worked with many professionals. I've made connections with people that I normally wouldn't have met through SPS TV.
I've had a lot of fun with this. I've learned a whole lot more about editing because I already know how to shoot. I just want to get more of graphics and editing.
This class is very beneficial for me after high school, more than it is now, because this is something I'm looking forward to as a career.
Since I do want to pursue a career in broadcasting, I think it's going to help me a lot.
I plan to go to Arizona State and major in communications, And a huge thing with communications is time management and producing and stuff like that, and that's what I want to do. So I've learned a lot about that already, and it's not even through the first quarter.
To say the thing that benefited me the most was just keeping calm and just keep going. Get out of the regular classes and get into something more unique, because now it's my senior year and I wanted to do something more special, get more hands-on with the cameras, such as the one that we're shooting with right now. But this has really helped me just keep going headstrong and don't stop until it's done.
I would recommend joining SPS TV because it's good opportunity. There's a lot of good opportunities with it, and you learn new things. You think you know a lot of stuff until you come here and then you learn new things.
It's a great opportunity for the students to tell the story to the people of Springdale of all the great things going on in the Springdale School District. So now let's tell you about some of those things, like a recent visit by the Thea Foundation to J.O. Kelly.
Well, Mr. Leopolis called about a month ago, and I had never met him, and I truthfully had not heard of the Thea Foundation. And when he started explaining their mission and their goals, and he said, we want to give you all $1,500 worth of art supplies, and I was all in. And they have a great heart for kids around the state, for creativity, for just making learning meaningful for kids, and so their mission is aligned with our mission, and so it has been great to get to know him and get to know more about the Thea Foundation.
The Thea Foundation, our foundation, and we're out of North Little Rock, has a program called Thea's Art Closet, and we recognize that a lot of our teachers don't get much money for art supplies, and we know that without good art supplies, a lot of kids in the school aren't going to have anything creative to do, and that creativity is really good overall for every child.
We are very excited about this gift. It is, it's just a great supplement to our art program. It means that kids will get to work in different mediums than what they might normally get to work in. As our kids were helping to unpack these supplies, they were saying, it's like Christmas, Miss Ford, it's like Christmas.
Sonora Elementary School is only in its second year of existence, but already they've won a nationally prestigious award from Parenting Magazine.
Well, we won recognition. It was the 10 most innovative schools in the country. And my understanding is there were over 600 schools nominated, and from there they picked 10 that were doing something different with very little funding. Well, of course, last year was our first year opening, and one of the things that we wanted to do was, our vision statement was innovate to educate. And so one of the things that we wanted to do was do things differently. Innovate does not always mean technology and having the best technology, but doing things differently. And two of the things that we really focused on were increased technology for student instruction and the arts. There are so many children we see that come through that are very talented artistically, but don't really get to show that maybe in a school setting. When you talk about technology, that we don't want it to just be about giving kids technology. Just because they have a computer doesn't mean they can do something better or makes them smarter. It's a tool that they can use if we facilitate that learning correctly. And I think the arts, it's the same way. What they learn, though, is that their body is the tool. And we created a school-wide mantra based on this training that the teachers had attended. And essentially it's talking about kids using their mind, their voice, their imagination, their concentration, cooperating with their friends. All those components are tools that you can use to be a better learner. And so it's their body as a tool too. It's as opposed to everything being external, it's the power that they have to be a successful learner and to create that environment in their classroom.
Next up, a look at J.O. Kelly Parent Night.
Tonight is English as a second language night, parents night. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to talk to them about reading to their children, about how powerful reading is, going to school, making yourself part of the school that your kids are in. And so tonight's one of those kind. We're going to have some food and entertainment. We're going to try to do it in a different way than normally people talk to you, but we're going to have kids from the university that work with our Sin Límites initiative here, and they're going to sit at the different tables with the parents and share.
Oficina Latina, the Latin office of the U of A here tonight, kind of encouraging parents, you know, and encouraging our kids to do good in school and to read and to not only to learn that new language that they're learning, but also to not forget the language that they bring. You know, I wish that would be the reality for every child, you know, in our district. But maybe one day, you know, we'll get there. But at the same point is, how do we continue to help our parents to understand, you know, how they can be part of their children's education? And reading is an important part, and you know, Ms. Ford has been always a pioneer in that. I mean, she's worked so hard with her schools, and we can see by the results that we've gotten in J.O. Kelly that we're very proud that they belong to the Springdale School District. But again, to get the message across in another language, in order to help children like any other child, so they can all, you know, be one community in the way of learning together. So.
The community, if you get more people involved, it would affect the community in a great way. If we get more parents to come, it will be more participation, and the kids will feel more excited that my parents are, you know, supporting me in my life, because this is just not a program. This is throughout their lives, and we want to educate them so they can keep going and be excited about going to junior high or high school, and actually start thinking now of what they want to do in their lives.
Coming up after the break, a look at our newest school in the Springdale District, Sonora Middle School, and its principal, Dr. Shawna Lyons. Sonora Middle School is in an absolutely beautiful location in East Springdale. We had the opportunity to sit down and talk to its new principal, Dr. Shawna Lyons. Our personality profile is one of the newest members of the Springdale School District, Dr. Shawna Lyons, who opened a new school right here at Sonora Middle School. What's that been like for you?
It's been extremely exciting, from everything from getting the building ready to the students coming in the first day to the students choosing their own mascots. It's really been an exciting time.
Now, you and your husband moved here from Colorado, and this was a job that was open. Tell us about the process of how you became the principal here.
Well, I applied for the job, and then of course started contacting the school district, reaching out to find anyone who would at least give me an interview. At the same time, I started visiting some of the schools just to get a sense of what instruction looked like in the classroom, what the strengths were and what the challenges were. And then so when I went into the first interview, I was prepared with some documentation of how my strengths met the district needs.
Obviously, they thought that was a good match. Now, you had a lot of time to get ready for this. Tell us about preparing for a new school when you knew several months ahead of time you were going to have this job.
You know, it was a little bit of everything. It was from hiring staff to interviewing staff to helping the district decide which students would be coming here, through boundaries, through choosing textbooks and curriculum, to the color of chairs, which are blueberry, by the way.
So you get involved with every detail. Was that a fun process?
It was a fun process. I think you know, it was a little stressful at times when you're down to the detail of picking out the blueberry chair versus the navy chair. But it was exciting, and I had a great team that came together to help support, and so it all came together in the end.
And then on the opening day of school, I've got this picture in my mind of one of your assistants out there, and it's foggy, and you're thinking, man, is anybody going to find the school?
Yeah, you know, the first day of school, we just kind of had all hands on deck. So it was all of our staff members plus anyone in the district that could be here to support. And so we were having to flag cars from the street just because it was foggy, and then make sure students knew which door to come in and where to go, and how to serve breakfast for the first day. So
Didn't take long to figure that out, though, did it?
It didn't.
By the first week, everything's smooth. And then you have to wait for, quite a while before you had your actual dedication ceremony. What was the planning like for that, and how did you think it went?
You know, I think the important thing to us was to prepare for a dedication without interrupting student achievement. So normal day operations were going on, teachers were teaching, students were learning, but then still plan and practice for a dedication. So that was probably the challenge in it. But I just got anyone that could meet together, and we did a big multi-to-do list, and we all worked on it. I didn't micromanage it. I definitely put it on different groups, and it all came together at the end.
You know, I believe that this is the first dedication in Springdale. The governor, we've had governors at dedications before, but you had the governor, you had the lieutenant governor, you had the head of the education department, and you had a pretty good crew here.
Yes, we did. We had a full stage, and that was some of the prep work the night before. Even with the superintendent in the cafeteria and teachers, we ordered food and stayed just to how to set up the stage with all those visitors and all those guests, and how do we honor each of them on the stage. So,
all of that because it's about instruction. How has the first couple months of your school gone?
It's been great. One of the things I sold myself on to Springdale is that I have been trained, I was trained in Colorado as an instructional leader, and so I like to ensure that I'm in the classrooms daily supporting teachers so that they can support students. I have this firm belief that students can rise to these high expectations if given the right amount of support from teachers, and that teachers can teach to those high expectations if given the right amount of support from me and the other administrators. So we have really done a good job, I think, of balancing our time between managerial types of things and instructional, and making sure that we're part of professional learning that's going on in the classroom.
You had an advantage. It could be an advantage or disadvantage. Some of these teachers had taught at other schools, but you're putting together the first staff, so you were hands-on with every teacher hire, I assume.
I was. When all the teachers were hired, even if they came from the other schools, we clearly set out the vision and the mission that this school was going to have around 21st century learning, around uninterrupted blocks of time, integrated learning that's aligned to Common Core. And so teachers that were hired on here believed in the vision as well. And so it's been remarkable. We just had one of our big professional developments last week with the whole staff that was around things they've been working on in professional learning communities, and it was one of the most reflective dialogues I've ever seen from staff members around student work and teacher practice. So it has all come together.
The reason you're here, to Sarah Ford and Susan Buchanan, thank you. They had overcrowded classrooms. This district keeps growing. I'm guessing you've taken a lot of the stress off of them too.
I have, but now I've grown past them. So I'm now at 750 students. So,
wow.
So now they're gonna have to start taking the loads off of me pretty soon. So we're up to 750 students, which is a little more than projected, but we've managed it quite well, and teams have worked together to overcome any obstacles. So,
what do you see as the future at Sonora Middle School?
What do I see as the future? Oh, I have all these ideas in my mind and all these possibilities. We definitely, in the future, want to ensure that we're aligned with Springdale High School's academies for learning it, that we're career and academic ready. And so we've started it with our after-school programs, putting kids in art and communication pathway, in an engineering pathway, in a health science pathway, and then in a community outreach pathway. And those align with Springdale High School's academies so that those students can come down and mentor our students. And there's a continuous alignment to their partners, which are obviously colleges. So.
Because really, when you think about Common Core, the main thrust is getting them college ready or career ready,
Yeah.
and this really is a good plan to do that.
Yeah, our vision is to eventually take those after school times and align them to the school day where students have choices and are getting experiences around things that they want to choose for the future.
That's innovation. That's Dr. Shawna Lyons. We hope you've enjoyed the profile with her. Stay tuned for more right after this. We hope you enjoyed the interview with Dr. Lyons. She's an absolutely brilliant principal and a great new addition to the Springdale School District. Next up, we're going to talk it over with Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins. This segment of the program is designed to give you some in-depth information about what's going on in the Springdale School District. Dr. Jim Rollins talks about the opening of the school year and some of the new things in the Springdale School District. Well, welcome to the Superintendent Report with Dr. Jim Rollins. Dr. Rollins, it's been a great start to the year. Everybody's happy. Second largest school district in the state of Arkansas. The growth has just been tremendous.
Well, it has, and once again, the number 700, 750 seems to be pretty common these days in terms of new students that we've added to the district, and we're privileged to serve each of them. Almost 21,000 kids. That's a lot of opportunity, and we've got a great team, and the parents of this community are marvelous partners, and we are off to a great start.
When you mention those kind of numbers, your theme is teach them all. Individual instruction. With that many kids, how do you get that done?
Well, it's the challenge of a lifetime. That all starts with having the best teaching staff that we can possibly bring together. And our Springdale School District has had that quality of teaching staff for many, many, many years. As we've grown this year, we brought about 100 new teachers on board. So that's always fun too. You add great expertise, new styles, new personalities, and then obviously the challenge we have as a district is to bring all of that forward into a culture that supports every child. And the mission to teach them all is absolutely the right mission. And in a school district like ours with children coming to us from all over the world, it is really special to be a part of that.
New kids and new teachers mean you need more room. You built a new middle school this year.
Well, seems like continuing to bring new facilities on board is just a part of the fabric of this school system. We opened a marvelous new middle school at Sonora this year. I could not be more appreciative of the staff and the parents who supported that process, and the young people at Sonora Elementary School are just phenomenal. We opened the school, or officially dedicated the school, a few weeks ago. On stage with us was the governor of the state, the lieutenant governor of the state, the commissioner of education, and in front of us was about 750 of the greatest kids you'd ever find. So it was a beautiful day, and I think back over those experiences over the years, I think we built about 18 plus new schools during the time I've been privileged to be a part of the school system, and every one of those dedications I have the fondest memories of, just because you understand the great potential and promise that's represented by the young people in front of you. And that's what our teachers see every day. That's, I think, what causes them to choose to serve in the Springdale School District.
Got another one coming next year, don't you?
Yes. When you're growing really a school a year, that's, like I said, it's just part of the culture of the Springdale school system. And again, it's wonderful. It's great to be a part of something that's growing and positive and student-centered. It's just the privilege of a lifetime, to tell you the truth.
And new schools aren't the only facilities that you've taken care of. You've done some athletics at Har-ber, new wellness center, the work they've done at Jones Elementary School.
Well, I'm speaking of the addition at Jones Elementary School, that's phenomenal. The new community health center there certainly serves the students of the school and also provides additional support for our alternative high school. But then the families that need immediate attention can come to the school as well. It's a part of a whole child initiative that we think leads to healthier communities. Healthier communities provides better students for us in our respective schools. And so it's again, it's the right thing. It's a positive thing for our growing community.
I have to ask you, because you mentioned the Lieutenant Governor being at the dedication. Pretty good celebrity to have as a substitute teacher in your classrooms, isn't it?
Well, Lieutenant Governor Mark Dar is a Springdale resident, and just a phenomenal individual and a great emerging state leader. And I enjoyed his comments. Just a couple months ago we were talking, and he said, you know, during the course of the week I've got a little free time. And he said, I'd like to know more about the schools. And he said, well, how can I get more involved? And it was his thought. He said, could I substitute teach in your school system? And I just thought that was great. And the Lieutenant Governor's been in our schools a number of times, and frankly is doing a great job. So we're very glad to have him. And the more our patrons get involved in our schools, I think the better they understand, the more they appreciate the great school system that we have. And I'm really thankful that the Lieutenant Governor has volunteered that way.
Well, he's part of the business community, and one of your great partnerships is with so many businesses in the Springdale community. You like them knowing what's going on in the schools, don't you?
Well, great schools feature great partnerships. The best is when moms and dads obviously get involved with their school. They know their teacher, they volunteer in the schools, they're part of the day-to-day activities of the school. And then when you have your business community come alongside and really devote themselves and all the resources that they have, and I'm not just talking about financial, I'm talking about their employees giving of themselves. They may come to the school and read to a child, or like some of our civic clubs, the Rotary Club has a great program called Choices, and representatives from the business community come into the school and actually teach and make our kids more aware of the choices that they will make regarding careers and so forth. Those are just some examples, and I think, Rick, we have more than 150 established partnerships, and really the wonderful thing about that is they're not isolated in a few schools. There's been a strategic plan put in place so that every school has business partners working side by side with the teachers of that school, and it doesn't get any better than that. That's very, very special, and we're so appreciative of our business community for stepping forward that way.
Well, we'll be back in a moment with the final segment of our show, an interview with the legendary, the one and only Papa Rapp. Last segment every week is designed to give you some inside information on some things going on in the Springdale School District. And this time it's about a program that you're going to enjoy. It's Paso Paso with Al Lopez. Enjoy this interview with Papa Rapp. We're visiting with Al Lopez. He's the community liaison to the Hispanic community in the city of Springdale. Al, kind of an enjoyable job, I guess, because you get to work with parents, students, and find out what's on their minds.
Exactly, parents, students, and community, because, you know, overall, even though people think that it's just that I'm working with the Hispanic community, but the reality is it's, you know, we're one community, so when we work with the Latinos in the community or Hispanics, what we're doing is speeding up the process of them becoming part of our school culture. I think it's more than parents and students, it's also community people interested in embracing and you know, becoming one community.
Right, it is one community. Yeah. It has become more diverse by the years. Yes. Are you sometimes taken aback by the numbers that have come to Springdale?
Yes, I am. You know, I came here in '94. So when I came here in '94, it was like, you know, I was working for another district. But they said, wow, look how many Latino students we have, and they had 50, you know, and they thought that was a lot. Oh, wow. So, you know, and I think the same thing was happening here, you know, in our area in Springdale. For me, the basic thing is, you know, every parent is interested in their child's education. It doesn't matter the language that they speak. But the interesting thing for me is to watch the kids in school interact and see how, you know, you go to an elementary school and you ask a little Latino kid, hola, ¿cómo están? They answer you in English, and where were you born? And they look at me like I'm crazy. Springdale, you know. So it's almost like, wow, you know, we're there. Sure, there's a lot of challenges, but what I love about the district is that we see it as a challenge, and we always think about how do we turn it into an opportunity. So that's why I'm taking about the numbers, but at the same time looking at how everybody's kind of accommodating and just working together. So
communications is your specialty. We're working together in communications now, and you think about many of the kids do speak English. Some of their parents still speak Spanish. Now you reach out to them by radio, and that's a great way to reach a community, to let them know what's going on in the schools.
Yes, I mean, and we've got to thank La Zeta, you know, Easy Spanish Media, Mr. Eddie Vega, that I think maybe 12, 13 years we've been already doing radio, but every Sunday night, 95.7 FM, we come on the air from 8 to 10. And you know, it's in Espanol, but we love having people that don't speak Spanish, English on our show, because then it makes it into a bilingual show. But the purpose of the show is, you know, that we know that people, everybody that's here, especially Latinos that I know, Marshallese, everybody wants to learn English. I mean, that is the American dream. They know that if they learn English, things are going to be better in the way of economics and everything else. But meanwhile, how do we get the message across? Or do we say, oh, let's wait 7 years until they learn the language? Or we say, no, let's talk to them now about what's going on, about the flu shots and the expectations and how you can become part of, you know, the school and your child's education. And I think it's worked very well in the aspect of being able to connect people with our schools. So, you know, it takes time, but I think that our district has done a great job in getting that message across. And radio and the media, because, you know, we have other like Spanish newspaper that they work. Sometimes I say, are they working for us? Because the articles are so wonderful in the way of being proactive and positive that really helps the process of getting our parents being part of our school culture.
One of the great ways to connect these days socially is through Facebook. Our district is just starting a Hispanic Facebook, or in Spanish. How many people can that reach? Because you're telling me that a lot of the parents that live in this district, the way they communicate to their families back in Mexico is through Facebook.
Oh, sure, Facebook. I mean, that's one thing that surprised me, and I guess more because I'm kind of old school and I'm still learning and I know how to tag and get the information out there. But what I do know is that more and more parents are getting involved with Facebook and Twitter. So that is so important for us to, again, be proactive, not wait for, you know, to be reactive, and to be proactive in the way of not only to teach parents how to, you know, go to Facebook and connect with our school district, but also how to go to Facebook and connect with their children and see what's going on. Social media, you know, is the way that we're going. So I don't know what's going to happen to my radio show eventually. I don't know if we're going to, you know, be in the internet or what's going to happen, because that's where we're going. So I'm happy that we're there as a district.
Regardless, people love entertainment, and you are an entertainer. Now tell me how you got the nickname Papa Rap, and everybody knows you by that.
Well, Papa Rap. Well, I'll tell you how I got the name Papa Rap. You see, I was the one that created rap music. Nah.
Really?
No. Papa Rap is a song that I wrote in Puerto Rico. You know, I'm originally from Puerto Rico. And my daughter hates this story, but, you know, I tell her anyway, because I just like to see her all fettered out. But when she was 16, she was into the rap music scene, and I thought I was losing her. You know how it is when at that age they have their own friends and they start getting a little bit like in their own world. So I started to write. I've always composed music. You know, we won a few, you know, prizes in the way of music composing, but I started to write rap and to see if I could reach her, and it didn't work. I mean, she hated it, but her friends liked it, and that was the beginning. I wrote a song called Papa Rap, and we competed in a competition in Puerto Rico, and we got to you know, to one of the finalists, and from there on I started to write rap music, and my band was my kids, you know, my nieces and my nephews, so I got the name Papa Rap. And this area, what taught me as a musician and entertainer, you got to understand, in Puerto Rico, everything I wrote was in Spanish. Everything I wrote, there's no need to write in English over there when I'm talking about songs. But here, in order to reach the community, what was going on in the way of newcomers and miscommunications and how to get people coming together, I started to write in English also. So I always accredit Northwest Arkansas to helping me discover that I could write in English and rhyme and combine it with Spanish and rhyme. So I never would have done that in Puerto Rico, I think. So I thank my community for that. I have to give them credit.
Well, we can thank the Springdale community for helping develop Al Lopez, and we thank Al Lopez for being in the Springdale community. Now you know how he got to become Papa Rap.
In the house.
The Paso Paso Show with Al Lopez and DJ Torres is a welcome new addition to all the lineup of shows that you can watch on the Springdale District TV channel. You can get updated information on when the shows are on, and all your favorite shows are on, by going to the Springdale District Facebook page or the website, or you can subscribe to our new YouTube channel. Remember, if it's right now, it's Springdale Today. I'm Rick Schaeffer. Join us next time.